New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
What's good? What's good? Is your girl Ebony, aka Mad Knick fan, and I'm coming to you today with the first preseason show of the season. Today we're going to talk about a little breakdown of the Cleveland Cavaliers versus New York, because that's what we're opening up our season against, the number one team in the Eastern Conference Division. They were knocked out, and I believe in the second round versus the Indiana Pacers, somebody who knocked us out also. So we're going to break it down, all the similarities, differences, the keys to victory. We're going to talk about it all. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. I just want to talk about, get the elephant out the room. Some of the stuff that's going around in Knick Twitter, social media. Period. Some of the conversations are going around about Tibbs talking to the ops. This has been a big conversation. So I'm just going to get Tibbs talking to the ops. Mitch and Josh Hart's questionable. They're are they going to be available for the opener, and their health questions? What's going on around that? And also assigning Mo to a rookie deal. He's a part of the team. Signed him a contract, well deserved. We love it. I know a lot. He has a lot of fans so far in this Knick fan base. A lot of people see a great potential in him, and I'm excited to see him grow. What else can we say? Tibbs. Let's get into this Tibbs thing. Normally when Tibbs is not coaching, he goes around the league, he does what he does, learning from other coaches. This time it seemed a little weird, the type of teams that he went to go visit. You heard Jaylen Brown saying that he told them that they want to push him left, and our mindset and what he told the team to prepare for them. That is crazy. I don't care how you spin it, whatever, especially for that team that you just was fired from is still paying you. Like, he's still getting his pay the rest of his contract. So I see people saying because we did him dirty. We did not do him dirty. We did not do Tibbs, or as my guy Max would say, Timmy Triplefold, because we don't want to talk about him no more. We're just gonna say things that rhyme with his name. That's crazy. That's crazy. We've in 5 years he had different rosters, same stubbornness, same mentality. It didn't matter if he was injured or healthy. He still only plays 6 or 7 people with the same type of mind frame, not meshing his system with their strengths. It was time to go, like, to let it go. And that's all I'm going to give on that. That just was crazy with the whole going to all the teams ops that I can't respect it. But whatever, good luck in his future endeavors. I'm not talking about that anymore. And Mitch and Josh, who are questionable, or they might not play today. We're playing a team that has a very good coach. Before we hired Mike Brown, before we got Tibbs, before he went to the Cleveland Cavaliers, he's somebody that I really wished would have been a coach or option for us, him or Johnny Bryant, but that didn't happen. Everything happens for a reason. He said in a quote that I read in one of the articles, I can't remember the article, he said that game one, do you want to win it? Sure. But it's game one of a long season. Are you going to be perfect throughout the season? No. Game one, y'all, we're crashing out about game one. You want low management, because at the end of the day, it is just to get to the playoffs healthy. That's something that the Cavaliers are trying to do, because they've taken a page out of something maybe the Knicks did with Mitch last year. They feel they have a deep enough team, and they're really a mirror when you think about, they have a lot of similarities to our team and the coaching similarities too, but we'll get into that. It's game one. The object is for those two to be healthy and in shape by the playoffs. For us to get our team, not them two, for us to get our team healthy to the playoffs. Everybody, you hear Cleveland Cavaliers all offseason. You hear them preseason talking about how they think they could have won the championship if they were healthy, sounded like somebody else, like us, right? That's how we felt for a couple seasons, especially that when Julius went down that time. We felt we had a chance and we were just not healthy. So like just calm down. I get it. I get narratives and agenda, but let the people play and let us see them play before we start crashing up. That's all I ask. um, let's get it. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say about those couple of things that's circling in social media world. Um, I just we playing the Cleveland Cavaliers, a good team. Doesn't matter. Game one, they're working to try. They're contenders also. They're working for the ultimate goal. And again, like I mentioned, that they seem to have learned from New York because there's reports that Garland is ahead of schedule to come back, but they're not rushing him. They're going by the original timeline like we did with Mitch. Just take the time. When they feel they have a deep enough roster to hold Darius Garland down while he works to get in shape and healthy. They're not looking to rush him at all. So it kind of reminded me again of Mitch. They learning from past mistakes. They just want to be healthy. It was cool winning. It's great winning the regular season, being number one, number two. That's great. But the ultimate goal is to win the championship. So you see Cleveland trying to do that. They have an injury report. They starting off the season also injured. You have DeAndre Jordan is questionable. You have Max Strus had surgery. He just recently had off-season surgery, foot surgery, and so did Darius Garland. So they're recovering. They lost Ty Jerome in free agency, and they traded Okoro to get a big free agent addition, which they think they upgraded in the backup point guard position, which makes them which gives them a chance to really let Garland get healthy because they trust that Lonzo Ball, who was their offseason trade, they feel he can hold down the fort enough until Garland is able to come and play his role. So that was another a key player they got. Sorry, y'all. I couldn't think of the word. um, so that's some of the offseason moves that they made. And only on the top of the offseason moves, they're expecting some growth from their second, third year players to make leaps to help with some of the depth. They have Tyrese Proctor, who I wanted in the pre-draft pod that we had for KOT. He was one of the people that I was looking at. He's a point guard, can shoot from Duke, second round player. He made from the comments from the coaching staff from Cavs, he may or may not get rotation. It kind of seems to me like a Mo situation. They're ecstatic about him, about his potential, about his growth. They think he can be something for them. It just probably won't happen until during the season, or maybe an unfortunate situation happens for the Cavaliers and he has to step up. They have also some other Cavs you don't know. Jalen Tyson. Jalen Tyson had a pretty good preseason. He had a game. My bad, y'all. He had a game and versus Boston it was too, where he had 16 points, 6 and 14 field goals, 2 to 6 3-pointers, and 2 to 4 free throws. He's somebody that may be able to get some minutes, is trying to get break the rotation, try to make that leap, a second year player. So yeah, those are some, and with the injuries that they're suffering, he may get added usage. So look out for Jalen Tyson, and also another, I think I believe it's third year player. His name is Craig Proctor Jr. Craig Proctor Jr. is a shooter, lights out shooter. One of the games he did not miss. He hit I believe it was 5 of his 3-point attempts. And according to Kenny Atkinson, the biggest issue with Craig Porter Jr. was Craig Porter Jr. was his conditioning. And he said he's worked all season in that aspect of getting ready for his conditioning. So those are a couple of people that you may not know that may crack the rotation. You may see tonight, you may not. But if with the injuries that the Cavaliers are suffering, you may see uh, some of those players today is some kind of, maybe not long minutes, who knows. Craig Practice is trying to get a bigger role. He's playing for a bigger role. He believes he can get legit minutes in this rotation. So let's look. We'll see. As somebody, a shooter, you got to work. You got to watch. Um, and not for nothing, guys. These teams, especially now with the type of coaches, the two coaches they have similar principles and coaching ideologies. So they're almost mirroring of what they're going to do. And when you look at the offense that the Cavs has and the amount of defenders they do have the defensive player of the year and Evan Mobley on their team, the reigning defensive player of the year. So they have, and then Josh Allen. You have the players. You have the defenders. You have the offense. Mitch. You have the shooters. They're a live by, die by the three team. Let it fly is Kenny Atkinson's motto. It sounds familiar, like our new head coach, and it's all for a reason. We're going to get into that too. We talk about, again, Kenny Atkinson being a great coach, a great coach, a student of the game, he is. 17 years as a coach, 6 of those as a head coach. He's coached under Kerr, he's coached under Budenholzer, and we all know that those are both Popovich disciples, people that came under the staffing of Popovich. So it who also is that Mike, sounds like Mike Brown, who's also underneath Kerr, and they both praise working under Kerr because it's taught them so much, even more than they knew, even at their long career. They're still was able to learn something from Kerr and the team first on both defense and offense, doing as a string fundamentals, or Popovich style. We seen it with the Spurs. They were fundamentally sound. They did it with as a team on both ends, pump fakes, passes. It was not a lot of dribbling, just a lot of ball movement and playing movement. They trusted on each other, and that is definitely Kenny Atkinson's and Mike Brown's philosophies. So when we talk about what he's doing and this offense, something that I read in the article that stood out to me was, he said, we focused a lot on offense last year. He said, this year our focus is on defense. It's on defense. And that stood out a lot to me, because a lot of their middle of the league and not top 10 or top 5 statistics of last year are on the defensive end. The amount of points, just so they want to get more offense from their defense. They don't want to just rely solely on set defense. They want to play faster. They want to get in transition, and that comes from learning, because when they play Indiana, they got out, and they want to be very, very aggressive on defense, not just on the ball point of attack, but period, in passing lanes. How they defend pick and rolls. They want to be very aggressive with the bigs and pick and roll situations. So all of this is they're trying to get better on defense, because they had the offense, and again, defense wins championships. Defense and rebounding wins championships. And that's what some of their focuses of this year is on. You talking about crash? They said, always a principle of Kenny Atkinson is to crash the board. So when we talk about sorry. When we talk about at this point, 14 minutes. So we talk about Kenny Atkinson just being a great coach with great principles, just learned under great coaches. So, and it shows. It really does show. He called coaching under Kerr finishing school, meaning it gave him all the confidence he could have to head coach again after he was finished, is what he said. his principles. He allows his players to have freedom, offensive freedom, so they can do read and react. And players love when everything is not robotic and you give them room to play. You know, he's big on accountability, immediate execution, playing with pace, and building confidence through clear roles and trusting players to execute. If you open, you shoot, and he maintains communication with his players. Again, sounds a lot like Mike Brown. The confidence and he gives his players confidence and the builds confidence and also develops them. Doesn't go away from the high hand, meshes his strengths, his player strengths with his system. He will build plays for specific skill sets, or finagle the plays for specific skill sets on his team. Again, sounds a lot like who I've mentioned that on a couple KOT pods before about Mike Brown. He said if a player shows they can handle more of a role, he'll give it to them. He's willing to work with his players, and players respect that, because if they showing the work and your coach sees you're gonna keep showing the work, you're gonna keep giving the effort. So that's what we can see. And you know, this team, Donovan Mitchell, they have a deep team, so they want to do it as a committee. That way you don't know where their points come from. They want to do a lot. They want to move the ball, get 3-pointer galore, shoot a bunch of 3-pointers, get them up. That's what they kind of like Boston was, and how Boston was when we played. They just want to shoot threes, high volume threes. Again, with the Cavaliers, they're big on it. If it's open, let it fly. So we have to. That's always been a problem of the New York Knicks under Tibbs, was us defending the 3-pointer. We were having issues defending the 3-pointer. We were number 26 in the league at 3-point percentage, opponent 3-point percentage. They did what they wanted. They did what they could, so we have to definitely do better with with defending the 3. And it's especially with the Cleveland Cavaliers. But Mike Brown's ideology is contest. Protect the rim, but contest. Do not give up easy open shots at all. Run them off the line. And that is Kenny Atkinson also. Big on, just like us, big on ball movement, pace, space. Those focus on your strengths. Kenny Atkinson is a coach that's going to focus on his strengths. We're good at 3-pointer. We're going to take a bunch. Focus. We got good defenders. We're going to be aggressive. That's Cavaliers. That's how they think. So that's also just like Mike Brown, to keep defenses honest. They use their bigs as playmakers. They use the bigs as a hub to play make. So a lot of times, Allen, Mobley, they may start the offense. They may run the offense. That way, if they have to pass it off to somebody or dribble handoff, you have to stay honest. Again, like Mike Brown, it's almost mirroring. It's almost a mirror right now with coaching styles and ideology. I feel like this is why I'm breaking down the Cavs part, because it feels like we talking about Mike Brown also. Protecting the paint, we mentioned that. Fast break defense is a big priority with Kenny Atkinson. We heard Mike Brown and what he thinks of fast break defense. He wants to eliminate fast break chances, get back, don't give it up. And how do you do that? By not turning the ball over. Big on execution and taking care of the ball. The Knicks were really good last year of taking care of the ball. We were number 5 last year in turnovers. So that's pretty good. I expect that to maybe be finished like up and down, especially in the beginning of the season, because we are playing with a different pace, a different coach, a different system, not just ISO pick and rolls all the time. I truly believe that so in the beginning it might be a little ugly with the turnovers, because we're trying to learn a new system and at a faster rate, a faster pace. So, but that's the type of ball that Cleveland plays too. And they actually were at their fast pace. They were number 10 last season in pace and number 3 in turnovers. So they were playing at a fast pace and not turning the ball over. That's what the Knicks are trying to do also this year. And with the main focus being defense, which is also what the Cavaliers are trying to focus on this year. So again, the mirror of the styles is really crazy. It's kind of, and that's the first game of the season. This is a perfect test because who's going is about the the fight of the wills. Who can play their game more consistently than the other? Who can make it more difficult and pays attention to the little details, because they really are mirror. Um, what else that I didn't do? Oh, limit fouls. They not trying to get people to go to the line. They don't want nothing easy. They're trying to do nothing easy. The Cavs don't want to give you. They were number in opponent free throws attempted 13. I mean 11. Sorry, and 16. That's all right. Not middle of the pack, but they don't want to give up free throws. That's a emphasis in Kenny Atkinson teams. They try not to give you nothing easy, nothing in transition, nothing over turnovers, and no free throws if they can help it. They have a show your hands. That's what they call you. Show your hands. Let the ref see them hands. That's the type of technique that and Kenny Atkinson teaches to his teams. Contesting the 3-point line, encouraging running people off the 3-point line. And if they do get a 3-point shot, it better be contested. Similar ideology. If again, to protect the paint without fouling, of course. And it's they sound these principles, the offensive and the defensive of limiting transition, the limit fouls, protecting the paint, run people off 3-point line. This is all because of Popovich's disciples. Mike Brown and Kenny Atkinson have played under people who have had long tenures under Popovich on his staff, and it shows. Their principles, ideology show it. All team, that's Pop. So again, it's going to be pretty interesting, this game, because it is a mirror of styles. It's just who can play their style more consistently to me. That's what I believe. Just like us, Cav wants to do it on committee by both ends. So I feel let's get into these before I get into the keys to victory, I just wanted to show some notes. Again, they gotta have Lonzo Ball. Last year, Ty Jerome handled the role of point guard, or starting point guard, the point guard duties when Darius Garland was out. He did a good job, a hustle player, does more to help his team than hurts. They felt that he left to free agency with Memphis, and they felt they upgraded with Lonzo, who's going to have that job of holding down the fort on both ends, while Garland gets healthy. So that's something to look for, because it's a new team, new role, but they're expecting a lot from Lonzo. So we'll see how he fits and meshes, with this squad. They have a deep team. So how do you beat a deep team? You eliminate their options, make them a one-on-one team. Let's get into ruin their pace, rather. Make them one-on-one so it's not in flow. Ruin their pace and make them more predictable. So make them want to run them off them lines. I'll take I'll take a bunch of twos and contested twos, preferably without fouling, but run them off those lines. Twos. You can make it up with your defense. You can hit an occasional 3, and you take them out of their rhythm. So and limit fouls. You got to limit the fouls. Is either make a decision. It's either going to be a hard foul or no foul, but none of the in between, no and ones. Let's limit those. I'm not even going to call out no names, but let's limit those. We have to really limit those. We were a good 3-point percentage team last year, but we didn't take many 3-point, and it drove us nuts. We spoke about this all season. how we looked at the team stats and we would see that we were top 5 all just about all year. But when you look at the attempts, we were at the bottom of the league. We were at 3-point attempts. We were number 27 last year, and we were number 8 in percentage. That I feel those numbers will go up. I feel for the percentage wise and the attempts, of course. This is a league that is about shooting. We know that, but you want to just be able to play always different ways, and that was a problem that I had with Tibbs. He was very stuck in his ways, so it was just get the automatic bucket, go to the lane, mid range, which is cool. But then then add the amount, the volume of 3-pointer to keep it unpredictable. That's why he's no longer here. The ISO pick and roll balls, and also not spamming that pick and roll, the ball screen ISO for Jalen Brunson. Maybe it'll help us get to the line more and get some calls. Last year, Jalen Brunson, the chirps of everybody because they couldn't stop him. He became a foul baiter, a foul merchant, whatever you want to call him. Throughout the season, he didn't get called correctly last year, I feel. With the amount of times that we go to the basket and Jalen Brunson goes to the basket, free throws made number 21 last year, free throws attempted number 23, free throw percentage number 5. Of course, we was hitting our free throws when we got there, but the thing was getting there. So I believe that also changes. Us not spamming the pick and rolls, less chances for people to think Jalen Brunson is trying to get fouls all the time. Maybe they'll call it more evenly. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for that for the season, for the whole team. I honestly, that I don't. And it's crazy. Like I mentioned, that helped us in the playoffs against Boston. The fact that we didn't take as many threes or live by the 3 as they did, but then it hurt us again in the Indiana season when we needed a more scoring, more volume of scoring, and we just didn't get it. We just didn't do it. So with Michael Brown, I feel that definitely will be different. That will be different because his plays normally have counteractions under counteractions, and it's not always just hunting the 3-point shot. He would love it if it's open. So it becomes more natural, more organic, and more unpredictable because they're not searching for a player or a specific shot in itself, just the best available shot. And that's all I'm asking for my coach. And I can't wait to see it happen and keep happening. I'm ecstatic by the new offensive freedom we were seeing. Everybody's not Jalen Brunson, Cat, not just in the same spots. Mikal, OG, they're not just in the same spots. Everybody has to physically learn the game, and they learn all the spots because they're going to be there. And that helps everybody stay engaged and focused. It makes it fun still, the game fun and not robotic. So I'm excited for. Both of these teams last year, emphasized defense. You know, Cleveland said they focus more on offense, but they have the defensive player of the year. They have defenders. They have DeAndre Hunter. They have Allen. They have defenders. They were not last, but us two are the bottom in blocks. New York was number 29, and I think the Cavs were. Let me look. The Cavs, where are they? Give me a minute. Sorry, guys. The Cavs number 20. They're both number 27. Are they tied? I might have made a mistake with that one. Are they tied? Is the question. Sorry. We're number 29. I was reading that wrong. That's why. We're number 29 and the Cavs number 27. And it gives me back to that Bill Russell quote that I always love to use because I think that's very telling and smart, a sign of a smart defender. You don't have to block every shot for good defense. You only have to get the player to think you're trying to block every shot on defense. And you see two teams who really rely on that because the block numbers don't tell. That's why I always tell y'all men lie, numbers don't, but they can be deceiving us. I don't know what. I wasn't going to curse, but I don't know what. So like we got to stop just using the box scores to determine everything. You got to use little numbers and your eyes, and like put it together. Put it together. You got to put it together. But yeah, we just both a team with a lot of similarities. There's some differences, but a lot of similarities. Um, they have. Let me see. I'm trying to. I don't want to forget nothing. I do not want to forget anything. Yeah, the Cavaliers are hungry. They're just like we're hungry. We're hungry. They lost in the second round the last 2 years, so they kind of underperformed in the playoffs, and they're trying to prove themselves. So the first game of the season, it seems like they want to win, but if it's not, they're going through injuries, and they understand that this is a process, and that's something that I wish that more fans realize, that it's a process. Everything is not going to be pretty. Game one, it's not. We just take the good, we analyze it, we look at the bad, and hope we get better, better at it. Um, just effort and hard communication. This game, I guess we could get into the. I think I pretty much got into all key note stats that I could think of. DeAndre Hunter is questioned. We have a similar play style, so yeah. I'm trying to think of any other stats from last year that stood out for me. When I mentioned that they wanted to focus on defense, let's look at some of their stats. They were number 14 in steals, the middle of the pack. I mentioned number 27 in blocks. That can, points over turnover, they were okay. They're number 8. But they want to get better in there. Second points, even though they're such a big team, they're number 18, which is kind of surprising. Then there's something emphasis they're looking to get better with. Everybody is looking to get extra possessions. They see the Mitchell Robinson effect, but they're not last year they weren't a team known to shoot twos. They're not a team known to get the points in the mid range. They're a team that lives and dies by the three. So if you can take that away and play good defense and not foul them and put on the free throw line and not turn the ball over and give them points in transition, I believe we can separate from them. That separates us from them. I feel we can impose our will more on consistently. That's something. So yeah, and you talk about percentage points from 3-point. They're number 5. They're going to let it go. We were not number 5. We were nowhere near number 5. Number 27 percentage points from 3-pointer. We were not a team known for taking threes. So it's going to be interesting to see that change, and I'm welcoming that change. Some of the stats that I want to say, some of the stats that I think will look different from last year. Our offensive rebounding stats. Our offensive rebounding stats were number 19. Our defensive rebounding stats, we were number 25. Our rebounding period at number 24 last year. I feel all those numbers will go up, especially with Mitch. You got Cat is a good defensive rebounder. We got other people to help contribute. And also, I mentioned in the pod, the pace and space keeps defenders out of position. So sometimes they can't have the time to box out. And we're able to get extra little long balls, pause, and loose balls. So I think that definitely will go up and change. My 3-point made attempts percentage, I think that goes up. The points, I even think that goes up. We get more points. We didn't have that many possessions last year. In possessions, I want to say I'm gonna look it up for you guys. We did not. Possessions was not a strong point. I believe it was at the bottom of the league in that. I thought I wrote it down. Sorry, but I know we were in the bottom of the league, like 27ish in possessions too. I think we get more possessions with the defense and the added pace. You get more possessions. Free throws made with the aggression. I think that goes up. Attempts, everything. And I mentioned not spamming. Jalen Brunson may help us get more attempts also. Mentioned the turnovers might look a little different in the beginning. I think it gets better as the season goes on. We shall see though. The The amount of steals because of the aggression and being in the passing lane and doing that as a committee to help rotations will be better and everything. I think though that goes up. Number 24 is I found it. Number 24 we were in last year in possessions. Fast break points, I think that goes up. What were we in fast break points? Number 14, I think that definitely goes up. Added aggression, defensive, getting in the passing lanes equals to more transition, fast break points. I think that definitely goes up. I said that the percentage of I think I put opponent field goal percentage and 3-point percentage goes down. I think that's something that's different. We were number and I forgot. Yeah, I think that definitely goes up. And field goal percentage I mentioned earlier, at number 25. So that has to get better. 3-point percentage number 26. That definitely has to get better. We have to defend people shooting better because they were just getting shooting good percentages on us. Some of the stuff that I think that stays the same, or maybe gets a little bit better. Points off of turnover, we're pretty good with that. Points in the paint, percentage of points in mid range, because we know that Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson, even Cat, they like that mid range area. Sometimes OG too, Deuce, Josh Hart, mid range. So that probably stays the same or gets better, honestly, because again, Mike Brown meshes his offense, his system with his player strengths. Yeah, so let's just, I guess we could just get to sum up my keys to the game, my keys to victory, and then we can be out. My keys to the victory, I mentioned it all, broke it down, but let's sum it up. I believe I key, of course, defending the three. Cavaliers want to let it fly, don't let them do it. Boston, don't let them do it. Make them find offense other ways. Make it difficult. No turning the ball over. No turning the ball over. Get into transition and get easy points. Believe in your teammates. Believe in your teammates. Work as one. Don't search for the best available player, the best available shot, period. Whatever that may be. The person that wins, the player that the team that's going to win this game, I mentioned, is the one that's able to impose their will consistently the most, because we're such a mirror of a team when it comes to the ideologies. I believe if we have to pay attention to the little things, pay attention to the little details, communicating on both offense and defense. We have to communicate. Rebounding or offensive rebounding, taking care of the defensive possession by grabbing the offensive rebound, meaning defensive rebound, trying to get extra possessions on offensive rebound, and taking care of the ball. Again, a team on both ends, communicate, ball, player movement. Don't be selfish. Make the extra pass. Yeah, that's basically it. So we got communication, defense, and rebounding on both ends. Taking care of the ball, letting the ball one more pass, just believing in your teammate, your others, keeping it unpredictable. And yeah, I think we have this. I think we have this game. I know the Cavaliers are a good team. It's number one. I'm always going to, I think we're going to win until we lose. But if you're just talking about breaking it down in the numbers and how we match up, we have a lot of defenders to throw at Donovan Mitchell. We have defenders to throw at the two bigs they have, and they have to guard us the same. And we have a lot of two-way players that can get buckets on their own and hold their own on defense. So if we have the chance to make games ugly for a lot of teams, and I feel that's what we'll see. We'll see us using our defense to help, not solely depend on just set offenses, and not making it easy for the Cavaliers. They foul, no fouling. Like I mentioned, the not spamming of the JB. Hopefully that helps us. I see him going off. He looks super shifty. And they have some new pieces. They re-signed Larry Nance. I mentioned that. They re-signed him. The new piece is Lonzo, that they feel they upgraded in that position. And they have Sam Merrill, who they also re-signed, another shooter that they're high on. they have some pieces, and they just like us, not looking to do it one-on-one. They want to do it as a team, keep everybody involved. We can't let them do that. We have to force them to do what they don't want to do, because they want to focus on their strengths. So 3-pointers, no, we're not doing that. You're gonna have to find points elsewhere. And me giving you points, no, we can't do that either. They're gonna have to find points elsewhere. So that's just my keys to the game. Nothing easy. Pay attention to the little details: defense, rebound, not turning the ball over, and make them a one-on-one team. They want to do it as a committee. If they're going to shoot threes, make sure they're contested. And if they're not contested, make sure they're contested. And if you do run them off the 3-point line, make a decision. Either you're going to let them get the 2, but no fouls, no in-between fouls where we're giving them the bucket and the free throw. I'll take a 2. I'm contesting 2, just don't let it happen again, kind of vibes. So I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all for tuning in with me, for rocking with me as always. It's been a pleasure, and I will try to do this more consistently. But I'm just super excited to get this first one out, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I was able to maybe shift something that you didn't realize, whatever the case may be. Thank you for rocking out with me in the KOT show. So until next time, we out. Peace. And of course, as always, let's go Knicks. Let's get this dub.
New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.